Black love story. The fact is, we were both so broken and throwing pieces, often tokens, of ourselves into an endless fountain while making wishes, climbing our inner mountains of feelings. Inside, I remember minds were reeling as your eyes were always staring, glaring, a smooth peeling of layers of me that without a doubt, God's love through your eyes you could see into me, which felt for me like eternity. As when we first met, I was stuck in a rut, had taken too many hits too many times that punctured inside to my guts. With the word love always followed, and then by me later swallowed, was the word but. Having the worst luck, receiving coins, yet purse longed for some real bucks, but always taught to give zero as my lips stayed pucked and head always ducked. 'Cause even in my strain, I always stayed praying hard, sending never ending prayer postcards in which I often felt like God would then read and just leave and disregard and discard. Emotions opened and always marred, raw. So on that note, I'd go, taking God's silence as God's no, and go, just get up and leave and continue my reprieve into many venues, standing on guard at many bars with all the pain that was gained with my alcohol-stained breath, feeling the heat and the beats in my chest, leaving me soon wanting to get undressed, smiled shares just to impress, my friends inviting unknown men over as guests. Action, it's time to impress. Action, let me show some interest to this stranger I just met, yet neither of us seemed pressed, just stressed, in need of some rest. Last call means I needed someone to call, ready to now fall into likes or maybes, or simply just ready to forget it all, feeling it. So why not just enjoy where we fall and just crawl into my small bed? Me ignoring the soaring thoughts in my head as the spirit of God inside me played dead. Just a little predisposed, but come on, God, you know. This is just a little drawback to our original pack. Let me just enjoy being young, attractive, and black. And God, you know, I'll be right back. But in these moments, let me enjoy these deployments. Inner me wanting to say stop, but there was always a knot in my throat, easier to just take their coats, suppress my real vote, sit and sip, then tip, click, the remote. As over the years, my life of becoming friend, lover, and then an ex-wife all became so fuzzy and unclear, filled with gained pain, hidden insecurities, and fears. For I wanted so badly, often madly, wanting what was inside to no longer abide. But this dressed up doll would always fall, makeup mixed with tears, falling like rain, flowing down my body, mixed with soap into the drain. So many tears shed in so many showers, not ready to relinquish all of my power to God's strong tower. For me, I found it easier and more convenient to self-abstain, relying on others to only invest in my campaign of pain in which I reigned and had only myself to blame, as I continued to take on more emotionally than I should, all because I stopped believing I could really be loved and that I was more than enough. Us black women, we were made to be tough, deserving, self-serving, running around unknowingly bound to what I had come so used to, misuse, abuse, and always an excuse of mistruths. Why not just let loose and self-reduce? Leadings to meetings of self-medicating, no longer heeding the warnings of a headache-filled morning, with a shot and a boost of self-produced, emotionally self-strangling, feet always left dangling, trying to always find ways to come down or to clown, trying to reverse a curse of the frowns. But how do you untangle your own hands mishandling around one's neck, around one's heart, mad at God for not doing his part? As I often tried to conceptualize the start of the insane brain patterns of becoming whole, and then soon always shattered and tattered and battered. At church, there was Jesus, always standing, reflecting, always compassionate and understanding, but I believed only my destructive self-branding. But one day I decided to pray, so I said no more, knowing that the God I knew had something in store. And it was soon after, closing all previously left open chapters, that it happened. Weirdest circumstance, strictly by chance, and with no first dance or exchange of glance, I met a man, and over time we became best friends. And I remember our first meeting was an internet greeting, and I was totally smitten, unknowingly bitten. We would take long walks and just talk. And I remember feeling so relieved and also intrigued, yet at the same time fatigued, because I was so over dating, hated the fake relating and constant rotating, and felt so degrading and also wrong. Old life once now gone, curtains now faded, emotions now fully persuaded, infatuated with him. For he was patient, allowing my soul to lie only adjacent to rest, never failed to inhale me, and always allowing me to be nothing but free, taking the time to always find or make time for me. As ironically, I had just started again with Bible and pen, writing, poetry. Me opening and sharing to him was always smiling and glaring, and always daring to give God the glory. When I revealed to him all of my story, never made me feel boring, and gave me nothing but respect when I revealed I wasn't healed and I was abstaining from sex. I nervous, not knowing what to expect, but he never neglect. Instead, from his heart to my head, he said, for you, it wasn't about lust, and that God was a must. So we continued to trust. But there was a cause and effect, and we both would often project, and I would come at his neck, pushing him, but he never left. Instead, he took all my baggage, unpeeled my emotions like cabbage. With both hands, we now both stand hand in hand in a black love story that God alone had always planned, leading us both now with both of his hands. We both often laugh at our crooked paths, but now we understand that it had to happen, for God was always mapping and in charge of the weather. Wow. Now 7 years together, and we couldn't be better. Loving how he leaves little cards, and I find small remindings of how real love makes one better. So every day I continue to pray, thanking God for him, finding love that's from him. So it's always been true. For preparing and sending, even in my twisting and bending, a man that has become more than me, than what I ever deserved. For I was always intended and reserved for him and not them, because God always wanted me to go deeper. And I am so thankful he whispered to you these words, keeper.